Hello and welcome to another video by me, Ewan, here on the Eye of Gnosis Tarot channel. Today we are looking at the Eight of Wands, which is quite a significant change in appearance to the previous cards. Now before we start on the video, if you are interested in listening to more tarot related content, especially with the Thoth deck here, I have a whole channel dedicated to this stuff, whether it be these tutorials on the individual cards, tutorials on how to read the cards within a certain spread, or just looking at your star sign tarot spread for each month. I have the bell icon down there so you don't miss anything. If you want to click that and subscribe to the channel. Otherwise we will just get on with the video, and today, like I say, we're looking at the Eight of Wands. Now there is a timestamp below in the description if you want to skip straight to the Divinatory Interpretations. As I always say though, please at least watch the symbolism and description once, so you have a greater understanding of the card, and also showing a bit of respect towards the card too. So here we have the Eight of Wands with its two bi-pyramids intersecting one another. In the centre of the card, whilst we see 8 crimson lightning bolts coming from the centre, and these are striking out in a symmetrical pattern. Pale blue paints the background of the card, and we see this wonderful rainbow arching across the top. And we also see that this rainbow is bridging the gap between the astrological signs of Mercury and Sagittarius. So 8 is the domain of Hod, the Sephiroth associated with Splendour. Being so far down the Tree of Life, 8 is just as stable as its sister, 7, yet a degree of order has been created with the doubling of 4. Now, as we saw in the Four of Wands, which you can go back and look at that video, 4 is stability. And if 4 is stability, then 8 is stasis. It is the disruption caused by 7, and it has been contained now. At least 4 now. 8 represents a balance between the physical and the metaphysical realms, and within the Eight of Wands we see energy in static balance. If the idea of matter was conceived and created in 4 and 5, then its stable form is initiated in 8 via the concept of space-time. Whilst 8 is stasis, we must remember that the wands represent energy, the alchemical element of fire. Thus, the Eight of Wands is an exalted form of 8. It is stasis, but in the sense of infinity. Energy is trapped in an infinite loop of becoming and simultaneously existing as matter and light. We can put this another way as E equals mc squared. The cosmic arena has now been set for the possibility of experience, and also for experiences created by the previous Sephiroth. Hod is splendour in the same sense that we may observe the cosmos and be awed by its spectacle. This reality exists, and we are a part of it. In the Eight of Wands, this is swiftness, because energy has become caged lightning, and ready to discharge into reality, so to speak. When this discharge happens, we call this radiation. Thus, this card is also the speed of light and literally lightning fast. the octave has now been established across all wavelengths of the electromagnetic spectrum, and delivers itself most pleasantly to us in the form of a rainbow when we see this invisible light, when it's divided, of course. Another name for the Eight of Wands could be music, yet it is that which is far beyond the confines of sound waves, and is composed of the divine notes of Kether. A little bit of symbolism here within the card to express all these concepts. The wands of the adepts have now transformed and have become these striking red lightning bolts. And these are a more recognisable symbol of energy, which we will see across the secular world. They are red, as Sagittarius is a matured fire sign. Sagittarius is the sage to Leo's king and Aries warrior. The bi-pyramid here represents the 3 becoming 6, the diamond which we saw in the 6 of Wands, and then it's manifesting here in 3 dimensions as the 8-faced polyhedron here. The points of the bi-pyramid invoke the harmony which we saw in Tippereth 6, which led to 8's possibility, whilst the 12 sides of the polyhedron express 3's multiplication of 8's origin, which is 4. The pyramid in the background here promises more to come within this 3-dimensional space. For the stasis of energy is a paradox, and thus is a creative force, in contrast to the other 8 cards, which we'll see in the 8 of Cups, the 8 of Swords, and the 8 of Discs, so that the 8 is quite a difficult number, but here it's quite well dignified. Visually, the second pyramid also completes an octagram, and in this 2-dimensional piece of artwork, that's how it appears. You can see the 8 points for the 8 bolts of energy. The rainbow symbol here is a symbol of the octave established across the electromagnetic spectrum with 8's conception. Now, whilst anyone who is familiar with the rainbow and familiar with music knows that there are 7 colours and 7 notes, we always know that the 8th colour or note is actually announcing the next spectrum or scale. Again, this expresses the infinite nature of 8. In fact, the Arabic numeral 8 is a direct representation of this, which was quite mind-blowing when I saw it. Very simple, it's always been staring us in the face. But yes, 8 is the infinity symbol. This is also mirrored in something that's called a tesseract cube. And if you ever get a chance, in fact I would highly recommend you go to Google now and type in tesseract cube, and if you have a lot of money you can buy one that has lights inside it, LEDs, and I'm just going to say it, put it out there, it's a bit trippy, because it gives the visual impression of I think it's the 4th and the 5th dimensions. They're wonderful to look at, and for anyone who has taken any kind of mind-altering substance, you will probably relate to what you see when you look inside a tesseract cube. Mercury is in detriment within Sagittarius, and this is actually my Mercury placement, and probably why I'm making these videos and not shutting up. Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. Gemini is a swift and precise intellect, always studying the details, while Sagittarius is a pondering and broad thinker, always contemplating the bigger picture. Mercury in Sagittarius combines the speed of Gemini with Sagittarius's macro perspective, and it is characterised by incessant philosophizing and wanton speculation. The answer to "Who are you?" is met with an existential crisis instead of a name. Fortunately, the wands lend energy to Sagittarius's mystical musings, and Gemini is quite comfortable with getting Sagittarius to the point. And for those of you who are into astrology, which is quite integral to the tarot, Sagittarius is the opposite sign to Gemini, and whilst the trope opposites attract is not always true, I think out of the star signs that are opposites, I think Gemini and Sagittarius are perhaps the most compatible, bar maybe Cancer and Capricorn. Now let's go to the divinatory interpretations of the card. The swiftness of the Eight of Wands can be found in both the physical and metaphorical sense, which is of course the title of the card, Swiftness. It is the lightning strike of inspiration from the Two of Wands multiplied by the stability of 4. In other words, we have an idea, or at least the formation of an idea. So when we come to the Ace of Swords, we'll see what an idea actually looks like. When well dignified, the card represents revelations, progression, speed, motion, and creativity. When ill dignified, the card is thoughtless, speculative, rapacious, jealous, and essentially doesn't know when to shut up. The key concept here is, of course, rapidness or rapidity, speed, in any sense of the word, not just the physical movement. So once again, thank you for watching my videos, and if you liked this video, please hit that like button down there at the bottom, and subscribe to the channel if you already haven't, hitting that bell icon so you don't miss future videos. And with that said, I hope you're all doing well, no matter where you are in the world, and may peace be upon you all. Thank you, and goodbye.